Imagine pulling up to the drop-off line in September, backpacks packed and schedules printed, only to have your child turned away at the front door over a single piece of paper. In New Jersey, providing proof of immunization to attend school is a strict legal requirement, governed by the state's administrative code. The Department of Health sets the baseline, and schools are legally bound to enforce it. The dilemma for families is mapping those broad state rules to their specific household. The exact vaccine requirements change depending on your child's age, grade level, and the specific setting they attend. You might assume that if your child was cleared to attend last year, their health records guarantee them a seat this year. But when students transition between certain grades, the required vaccine list updates with them. You face a clear trade-off. Spend a few hours conducting a proactive paperwork audit during the summer, or risk facing bureaucratic exclusion on day one. We are going to map out exactly what is required by age group and look at the most efficient state tools available for tracking down missing records. This diagram shows the two distinct paths a family can take leading up to September. Taking the top path, verifying grade-specific milestones months in advance, secures a clear checkmark and ensures smooth, uninterrupted attendance. If you wait until September and discover a gap, you are pushed down the reactive path, triggering emergency protocols and placing your child's enrollment in jeopardy. Navigating these requirements ultimately comes down to timeline management and administrative effort, rather than simply having access to healthcare. Let's evaluate the specific requirements, starting with the earliest entry points, licensed childcare and pre-K facilities. Enrolling a young child in these group settings triggers a specific, separate rule: mandatory annual influenza vaccination. This flu requirement demands a recurring, yearly logistical effort from parents to schedule, document, and submit records before the winter deadline. This comparison matrix shows how that recurring cycle contrasts with K-5 elementary entry. For kindergarten, parents must prove completion of a one-and-done primary series, including DTaP, polio, MMR, hepatitis B, and varicella. That initial K-5 documentation requires a high amount of effort up front. However, once those primary series records are verified, the requirement flatlines, needing almost zero maintenance until your child reaches middle school. The end of that flatline hits right at the jump to 6th grade. Entering middle school automatically triggers the need for mandatory Tdap and meningococcal doses. These specific shots are tied to strict timing rules that factor in both a child's exact age and the date of their previous doses. The K-5 paperwork that carried you through elementary school is no longer sufficient. You have to actively schedule new pediatrician visits to meet these updated milestones. Because it requires a new burst of action after years of silence, the 6th grade transition causes the highest friction for compliance. It routinely catches diligent parents off guard, leading to unexpected first-day exclusions. If you lose your paperwork or transfer into the New Jersey system from another state, you might find yourself missing required records entirely. When a required dose is missing, schools have an official mechanism called provisional status, which allows temporary admission while a student catches up on their vaccine schedule. But provisional status comes with a ticking clock. It imposes a strict, time-sensitive countdown on your child's enrollment. This status provides a brief bureaucratic delay to get your paperwork in order, not a permanent waiver. If that timer runs out before you supply the correct records, the school is required to enforce immediate exclusion. Leaning on provisional status is a dangerous gamble that turns a manageable summer administrative task into a high-stress September emergency. The state does allow medical and religious exemptions, but they are limited and tightly controlled. Despite common rumors of quick and easy waivers, the reality of New Jersey law is rigid. The state demands rigorous, officially formatted documentation. Submitting outdated, out-of-state forms, printing a template from the internet, or relying on secondhand advice will result in an immediate rejection. School nurses act as the local gatekeepers. They are legally bound to audit every exemption claim directly against the Department of Health's exact standards. Navigating these exemptions requires precise alignment with state statutes. If you are seeking an exemption, proactive reading of the actual legal and medical rules is mandatory to avoid administrative failure. If you know you are missing records, there is a fast track for time-poor parents to retrieve them. New Jersey provides official digital tools, specifically the Docket app and myhealthnj.com, which sync directly with the state's immunization registry. This quadrant chart maps your options: Calling out-of-state schools is high effort and slow. State digital apps sit firmly in the low-effort, high-speed quadrant, providing records instantly. Creating an account completely eliminates the friction of playing phone tag. Utilizing state technology shrinks a potentially multi-week paper chase into a painless 5-minute digital audit. For complex cases like navigating exemptions or out-of-state transfers, your fastest track is to review the official New Jersey Department of Health guidance directly, rather than trusting third-party advice. Reading the dense state guidelines over the summer prevents the catastrophic delay of arriving on day one with invalid paperwork. This checklist outlines your action plan. Verify your records before major grade transitions. Ask your pediatrician about catch-up doses now, and use the official state tools or guidance to confirm your status. The absolute bottom line of the state's guidance is clear. Do not wait until the first day of school to resolve missing documentation. Proactive planning and communicating early with your school nurse keeps your child in the classroom, ensuring a safer, uninterrupted academic year for the entire community.